From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Thursday, April the 10th, 2025. Israeli troops continue their ground operations in Gaza, where the IDF said today, over the past 24 hours, the forces eliminated several terrorists, located and destroyed terrorist infrastructure, and continued to work to establish operational control in the area. Israeli Air Force fighter jets and aircraft, it said, hit approximately 35 targets of terrorist organizations throughout the Gaza Strip in the past 24 hours, among them a Hamas command and control center in Gaza City. Eliminating, the IDF said, a number of terrorists, including the commander of Hamas's Shajaya battalion, who led the murderous attack on the Nahal Oz base on October the 7th. The IDF said prior to the strike, numerous steps were taken to mitigate harm to civilians. And later today, the IDF said 11 terrorists who invaded the country and participated in the murderous massacre on October the 7th were eliminated, including key terrorists involved in the murder and kidnapping of Israeli soldiers and civilians. A delegation from Israel met with a delegation from Turkey yesterday in Azerbaijan on the matter of de-escalating conflict in Syria, as both countries' militaries operate there. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office said he sent the delegation, led by National Security Council Director Tzachi Hanegbi, and with the participation of senior representatives from Israel's Defense Ministry and the security services, meeting last night with a parallel Turkish delegation, where the Prime Minister's office said each side presented its interests in the region. It was agreed to continue on the path of dialogue in order to maintain regional stability. Israel officially has a new U.S. ambassador to the country. That is former Governor of Arkansas, Mike Huckabee, who was sworn into the envoy role in his home state yesterday, after being approved by the U.S. Senate in a vote of 53 to 46. Huckabee calling it a truly wonderful moment. Prime Minister Netanyahu welcomed the news and congratulated Huckabee, saying, "This is a great day for the Israeli-American alliance." Well, the Jewish holiday of Passover begins this Saturday evening at sundown, celebrating the liberation of the Jewish people from slavery to freedom. And this year, once again, tragically, we are still not all free, with 59 hostages still in Hamas captivity in Gaza now for 552 days. The American Jewish Committee shared a number of ways to show our solidarity for the hostages and their families during the holiday, including a special prayer to incorporate in the Passover Seder, placing yellow daffodils on the Seder table, and watching and sharing this moving video to remind us of those who are still not free and continue to call for their safe return, saying freedom is not just a promise of the past, it is a demand of the present. This Passover, as we open our doors to family and friends, let us not forget those still waiting to cross from darkness into light. And we have special Passover programming here on JBS beginning on Saturday and throughout the weekend into Monday, including Passover services and Seders from Central Synagogue and the Hampton Synagogue, along with the classic JBS Family Seder with the late Rabbi Mark S. Golub. As always, you can find more information on our website, jbstv.org. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Thursday, April the 10th at 7 o'clock, a special concert of Central Synagogue in celebration of their new album, Sing a Little More. At 8, it's part 2 of Jonah Platt's conversation with Dara Horn, who explores antisemitic tropes in classic literature and reflects on the personal experiences and inspiration behind some of her own works. At 9, it's the film Passover at The Wellman, which is followed by a discussion of the issues raised in the film by Rabbis Joshua Hammerman and Daniel Schonbuch. At 10:30, an encore of the news, and coming up next, it's the ILTV's Insider. And that's the JBS News Update for Thursday, April the 10th, 2025. I'm Teisha Bader. I will be back with the news on Tuesday. Wishing you an early Shabbat Shalom, a happy, healthy, and peaceful Passover. Chag Sameach. Am Yisrael Chai.